Welcome to the place on the internet I talk about comic books. This is my third take of this because I'm a rambling fool. All right, the reason that there's a lot of ramble to this is because it is almost philosophical. It's real dorm room stuff. I wanted to talk about theme and the artist's relationship with uh, the things that are said about them. So this is inspired by the director Osgood Perkins, who I see constant commentary online that he understands tragedy and death because he's had it in his own life. And I just wanted to highlight something for the people who don't know this. I'm not trying to treat you like you're stupid. It's just an easy thing to believe. That's marketing. That's not real. Is it real that his parents died in tragic ways? Absolutely. Is it a fact that, like everything in his life, that's going to manifest in his work in some regard? Yes. But his ability as a craftsman is what dictates what arrives on the screen. He could have the greatest insights in the world as to the grief that one feels, the shock that one might experience, losing your parents, etc. But none of that matters unless he has this skill and a willingness to go places. So these are marketing things. These are doing an interview on The View, sort of talking points. Oh, you lost your parents. That must mean that you understand a lot about losing parents. I guess. But there's a lot of people who lose their parents who have no insight to give you whatsoever. In fact, we all lose our parents. And very few people are able to convey what that means in any medium whatsoever. Who we are as artists is unknown to us. And really, as audience, you are just guessing. And more than that, you're projecting. Oh, this guy knows X because he's experienced Y. You don't know anything about these people. You don't know anything about Osgood Perkins. You know that he lost his parents. Maybe he was sitting at home reading Mad Magazine, drinking a Coca-Cola. It was pretty indifferent. He didn't give a shit. You don't know. We do this in lit classes, and I blame literature teachers in high school who I think should be arrested, because they've taught people that the only valid way to process art is to put it through a critical lens where the idea is to find meaning. And the meaning is the art. This is 101 stuff. This should require no explanation. The only people that search for meaning in art are people who don't have the vocabulary to process the art itself. I don't care for David Lynch's films, but there's something very honest in them in that they're gibberish. And he knew this, but nevertheless, there would be critics who would be sitting there trying to analyze it, pick it apart for what it meant. Oh, this must be about this. No, you don't have any idea, and you never will, and neither will the artist. You simply experience it in the same way they do, which is it comes out of them in waves, it comes over you in waves. Sorry to be graphic. And it is has nothing to do with these lit class projections, which is just a game. I need you to understand that. If you enjoy the game, that's up to you, but I see things about lived experience, right? Which is, if you think about it, quite a silly way to phrase something. What other experience is there? But dreamed experience, perhaps? But we see this lived experience conversation. Oh, they must have more insight into this. No, they don't. They have their experience, which is incredibly individual. They processed it through the synapses in their brain, which are, again, individual to them, specific to their brains, and you could not ever experience it in the same fashion. And through their craft, they are just putting little messes out into the world. I say this because I know these people. They don't understand themselves. You cannot understand them. They don't understand themselves. It's a mess. And that's the way it's supposed to be. They're creative people. Furthermore, they're human beings, but they're creative people. My father was incarcerated for some portion of my childhood. That I like to write about prison as a motif, right? It just leads to really great genre stories. If you think about it, it's just people trapped in a place. It always works, right? So that's a thing that is of interest to me, and you'll see that manifest in my work. But what insights do I have? I've been to many prison visiting rooms. I know the smells. I know the textures. Everything's painted over like 500 times. It is... I know the vibe. And I could probably convey that to you because I'm a decent enough writer to do that. But what does any of that mean? What did I take from it? You'll never know, because even if I was the best writer on the planet, I wouldn't be able to convey it in any way that could really give you that experience. Right now I'm reading a manga. If I tried to say the name, I'll look like an asshole. I think it's something like In Case of Conflict, Call Anna, or something to that is what it translates to. But it's about a geopolitical fixer, right? She's called in to navigate difficult political waters in regional conflicts and trade disputes, etc. And this book is fun, stylish enough, craft is of a high enough quality that it is a fun read. It is also complete gibberish. This is obviously a Japanese fellow who has not traveled, who probably gets all of his news from mainstream sources. It's a pretty ignorant work. It nevertheless is fun. It's fun. The accuracy of the thing is so irrelevant. It will do nothing for you, I guess is what I'm saying. Because you won't actually know until you've gone someplace. And even if you do go there, you wouldn't be able to convey it any better than the people who have been. These are stupid ideas that people have. Oh, he must know. He doesn't know anything. Nobody knows anything. It's just art. And art is just a pile of shit that has some glitter in it. And the people that know that best are artists. Because if you are still under the belief that there is some sage-like wisdom that's springing forth from the written word, no, there is what you get in the moment and maybe what you carry with you that is wholly individual to you. The only truth in writing is trade, is craft, is the ability to do a thing that stirs something. But there's no truth. So back to Osgood Perkins. He might be a great director, but that has nothing to do with losing his parents. And if you believe it does, then you've been sold advertising. That's it. Don't think people are deeper than they are. It won't serve you in this life. Just wanted to talk about it. Sometimes I see it in comic books, or really the Twitter culture around comic books. Oh, this guy knows about that. No, he doesn't. He knows his personal experience, which is never going to be accurately conveyed on that page.